This moment, this very moment we are experiencing right now, is not just any ordinary point in our timeline. This isn't another random day, another fleeting interaction, or another instance in the long history we share. No, this moment is different. It's deeper. It carries more weight than any other time we've spent together before. I stand here in front of you, not because it's convenient or because I have nothing else to say. I stand here now because the time has finally come. It's time for me to speak, and more importantly, to speak honestly. For a long time, I have carried a secret, a truth I have been afraid to share, a truth that has lingered in the depths of my heart, pulling at me, tugging at my conscience, reminding me of its presence in the quiet moments of my day. I've been hesitant to speak it, unsure of how it would change things, unsure of how you might react. And honestly, I've been afraid. Afraid of what it would mean, not just for us, but for me. But now, there's no escaping it. The time has come for me to face this, for me to be vulnerable in a way I've never been before. I know that what I'm about to tell you is not going to be easy for you to hear. It's not the kind of thing that is easy to digest, nor is it something that's going to come out in a neatly packaged, pretty way. This is raw, this is real, and it's something I've kept hidden from you for far too long. It's not the kind of thing you expect to hear from someone who cares about you. It's not the kind of thing that's easy to forgive, and I know that. But I can't keep this to myself anymore. I owe it to you, and I owe it to myself, to speak these words, to let you in on the truth that has been suffocating me for so long. Before I say anything more, I need you to understand something. This isn't a game. This isn't some random thought or fleeting confession that I'm making on a whim. This is serious. I'm not here to waste your time. You've meant too much to me for that. This is about being honest with you. This is about owning up to the mistakes I've made, the things I've done, the things I should have said, but didn't. And most of all, this is about finally being brave enough to say the truth out loud. Because keeping it in any longer would be a disservice to both of us. So please, take a moment and hear me. I don't just need you to listen with your ears, but to really hear me with your heart and your mind. I need you to understand the gravity of what I'm about to share with you. I need you to let me speak without interruption, without judgment. I need you to give me the space to say what I've been too afraid to say. And I need you to know that this is not just for my benefit. This is for us. This is for the future we could have, or the future we may not have, depending on what happens after I share these words. I have been carrying this weight for what feels like an eternity. It's been with me for so long that I've almost forgotten what it feels like to not have it hanging over me. It's been there in the back of my mind, in my thoughts, in the quiet moments when I thought I could escape it. I tried to push it down, tried to bury it, but no matter what I did, it always resurfaced. No matter how much I tried to distract myself, to keep myself busy with other things, it remained a constant, unyielding presence in my life. And the more I tried to ignore it, the heavier it became. For a long time, I told myself that I could live with it, that maybe, just maybe, it wasn't as big of a deal as I thought. Maybe it wouldn't matter in the long run, and if I just pushed it far enough into the corners of my heart, I could move on. But that was a lie. A lie I told myself to make it easier to live with the discomfort, to make it easier to ignore the nagging feeling in the pit of my stomach. But as much as I tried to convince myself otherwise, I know now that the truth is undeniable. If I don't say it now, if I don't finally release it, it's going to destroy me. And more than that, it might destroy everything between us. There have been countless nights, lying awake in bed, unable to sleep because of the weight of this guilt. I've replayed everything over and over in my mind, wondering where I went wrong, wondering why I couldn't just do better. Why couldn't I be the person I knew I could be for you? I kept thinking that maybe if I waited long enough, if I gave myself enough time to figure things out, the guilt would fade. It hasn't. It only grows stronger, more insistent, until it consumes every part of me. And it's not something I can ignore anymore. I want to be clear about something. I'm not standing here asking for your pity. I'm not standing here expecting you to forgive me right away or to absolve me of my mistakes. I know that's not something I can ask for. And am not standing here to make excuses or to shift blame. This is about owning up to what I've done and the pain I've caused. It's about finally being accountable for my actions and acknowledging the hurt I've brought into our relationship. I know that what I'm about to tell you is going to change things. It might change everything between us. It might create distance. It might even drive us apart. And I understand that. I've been afraid of that for a long time. But I can't live in fear anymore. I can't keep pretending that everything is fine when it isn't. So, here it is. The truth. I have failed you. I have made mistakes. And I have hurt you. And the worst part is, I knew I was doing it, and I did nothing to stop it. I let my pride, my ego, and my fear get in the way of doing what was right. There were moments when I could have stepped up, when I could have been honest, when I could have done better. But instead, I chose to stay silent. I chose to hide behind the walls I built around myself, convinced that it was easier to keep things buried than to face the consequences of my actions. And now, here I am, standing before you, fully aware of the damage I've caused. The mistakes I've made weren't small or insignificant. They were big. They were moments where I should have been there for you, moments where I should have been present, moments where I should have shown you that I valued you and the relationship we shared. But I didn't. I took those moments for granted. And in doing so, I broke something that meant everything to me. Regret is a funny thing. It's not just a feeling that comes and goes. It's something that lingers, that follows you around like a shadow, never letting you forget what you've done. And for me, that regret has become a constant companion. It's with me every single day, reminding me of the chances I missed, the words I didn't say, the actions I didn't take. It's not something I can shake off or ignore. It's something I have to live with, and I don't want to carry it anymore. But I need you to know that I'm not asking for your forgiveness right now. I don't expect you to simply let go of everything and move forward as if nothing happened. I don't expect you to forget the pain I've caused or to erase the hurt I've inflicted on you. I know that forgiveness, if it comes, will take time, and am willing to give you that time. Not asking for everything to be okay right now. I'm asking for the chance to make things right, one step at a time. And so, here I am, sharing my truth with you, even though I know it might tear us apart. Sharing this with you because you deserve to know. You deserve the truth, no matter how hard it is to hear. You deserve honesty, even when it's difficult to give. And in giving you this truth, I hope we can begin to heal. I hope that in time, we can rebuild what has been broken. I know that it won't be easy. I know that it might take a long time. And I don't expect everything to be okay in an instant. But I believe that this is the first step. And it's a step I can no longer avoid. So, here it is. This is my confession. This is the truth I've been hiding, the secret I've been carrying, the weight I've been living with for far too long. I've made mistakes. I've hurt you. I've failed you. And I can never take that back. But I can take responsibility for it. I can face the consequences of my actions. And I can try, with everything I have, to make things right. This is not easy. It's not easy for me to say, and it's certainly not easy for you to hear, but it's the truth. And the truth is the only thing that can set us free. Free from the guilt, free from the regret, and hopefully free to move forward in whatever way that may be. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hearing me. And no matter what happens, know that I will always be grateful for the time we've shared. And I will always be sorry for the pain I've caused.